everyone. All right, so today we are going to learn how to make an armature for your mask. So you guys are going to be making some type of a mask. I know you guys have been working on drawings. Miss Bess told me a little bit about that. So you need to put this underneath. You need to put something underneath it so that it kind of pops up a little bit. You don't want it totally flat. So I'm going to go over that today. Oh, Bobby says hi, by the way. All right. So there's a couple things that you're gonna need, okay? There's different ways you can do this. If you have paper towels, you can use paper towels. Newspaper is the best if you have newspapers, but I know not everybody gets newspapers. So there's other things that we can use. So we can use newspaper, we can use paper towels. Also, if you don't have either one of those things, you could just use an old magazine. That was one of the things that I was kind of using on one of mine, is I can just go to a page and I can pull it out. Let's see if I can get it out. I can go to a page and I can crumple this up as my armature. So lots of things that you can use. The other thing that you're going to need is some type of tape. Masking tape is the best, but you could use duct tape. You could use just your standard clear tape. You could even use painter's tape, just something to kind of keep it together, okay? So that's what you need. And here's what we're going to be making. Some type of, again, armature to put your clay on top of. This armature is about 8 inches long and about 8 inches wide. Okay, so you want to be close to that. I think it said in the directions that Miss Beth showed me that it could be a little bit smaller, but you want it to be kind of close to that, okay? And you might notice that you could see a little bit of features in there because if we had done the cast on your face, you would have a little bit of that. So I want you guys to have that too. All right, so if you're using paper towels, you're just gonna take your paper towels. You might wanna take 2 of them. And what you're gonna do is you're going to crinkle them up, okay? So notice I'm kind of folding them in, and I'm keeping one side smooth. The other side's kind of yucky, but one side is smooth, okay? And I've already made a whole bunch of these. So I have a whole bunch of these made. I put a little tape on the back of them just so they would kind of stay together. And that's exactly what I did for this one, is I made a whole bunch of these out of paper towels. Now I'm gonna kind of put them together. The other thing that I have right here that you probably can't see is I have tape already cut or already torn and put on the side of the table, because sometimes it's hard to hold all these pieces together and tape it at the same time. Again, you could also do this with newspaper. I did the same thing. Got a bunch of little pieces of newspaper, rolled up, one side is smooth. That's really, really key. If you just crumple up the paper towels like this, your mask is going to be very bumpy. It's going to be hard for you to get it smooth. It's even going to be hard for you to tape it together because it's going to keep coming undone. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we are going to tape these together. And we're going for kind of an oval shape. I mean, think about what your own face looks like. So I'm just putting a few of these together just to kind of see what it looks like. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my tape and I'm gonna tape it together. And I'm gonna flip it over. And then I'm gonna tape this side. And like I said, it's kind of not real easy in the beginning to get it all kind of the way you want. It's kind of a mess right now. So you kind of have to, like, you're using your hands to sculpt the paper and make it do what you want. You're probably going to use quite a bit of tape. So again, it doesn't really matter what kind of tape you use. In fact, duct tape might be better because it's whiter. You wouldn't use as much of it. Okay, so I have kind of a decent shape here. It's a little bit small. I have a few more pieces, so I'm going to go ahead and continue to add on. I'm just trying to make it into that oval shape that I'm going to need for my face. Now you might think about what your sketches look like too, if you have some kind of a big headpiece that's sticking out of it. Or maybe one side is a wolf and there's a nose sticking out of it. You could put a little bit more paper on one side. But in general, most of that stuff we do with the actual, excuse me, we do that with the clay, okay? So right now we're just kind of getting a basic face shape. So I've kind of run out of tape, so I'm going to add a little bit more just to get it a little bit smoother. okay? And I can kind of check, and these are pretty close to the same size, so I think that this is gonna work, okay? Okay, so I've got kind of a nice little oval shape. I might want to tape a few more things down. But the next thing that we're going to need is you guys are going to need some aluminum foil. Okay, and you could do the whole armature with aluminum foil. You're just going to use a lot of it. So it depends on if mom and dad want you to do that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of aluminum foil and give it a little bit of forehead, give it a little bit of nose, mouth, and maybe even some cheeks. So again, we are using this as a medium. We're kind of sculpting with this, even though really this is just something to put the clay on. So I'm going to tear some pieces off. And I'm going to start with the forehead. And I'm doing the same technique. I'm keeping one side smooth. Okay, so I want the forehead to kind of pop out a little bit. So that looks pretty good. I'm not going to tape it down yet. I'm going to go ahead and make a nose. Oh, hi, Bobby. There's my brother. He's very shy. Well, I know. He's on TV all the time. He's got his own show. He doesn't want to come get on camera. I don't know. He's silly. Okay, so I've got a nice little nose here. And now we're not necessarily creating lips, but if you look at someone from the side, like a profile, you will see that they have a little bit of a bump where your lips kind of stick out, so we want to put that on them. You're not going to actually put lips because we'll be doing that with clay. Again, this is just kind of that underlined shape. Okay, so a little bump. All right, I'm going to get some more tape out here. And I'm going to put my forehead on. And I'm going to put my nose on. And again, if your character has a really big nose, I would still just kind of stick with just kind of a simple little bump because we'll be doing a lot of that with clay. So you don't have to put a ton right now. And then I'm going to put kind of I'm going to put where the lips are. And I feel like I've put all of this a little bit high. I'll be going over kind of where all the features and everything should be. So I'm going to bring this down just a little bit. Okay, so I've kind of got to start here. I am going to bring my forehead down just a little bit. And then to me, just looking at this, there's not enough chin. So I'm going to add a little bit more chin with paper towels. Okay, I'm crinkling it up, keeping one side smooth. And then I'm going to add on a little bit of a chin. So let's get some more tape out. Kind of smooth it out. Another thing you can notice when you look at someone, there's also a little bit of a bump there where the chin is. So we might add a little bit more right there. But this is looking pretty good. Do another piece of tape just to kind of get that nose down. Okay, so I'm going to put this up a little bit closer. You can see the forehead. If you look at it from the side, you can see the nose. You can see the mouth. Probably going to add a little bit more chin, that indentation where the eyes would be. I might even add a little bit more to the top of the head. Let me show you this one that I did earlier. Okay, and from the side you can see the forehead. You don't see as much of the nose, but again, we don't have to worry too much about that because we are going to be adding on clay. This is just kind of some underlying structure. Okay, so I'm going to add just a little bit more to the chin, and then I think this guy's done. So let's see. Remember, you can do the exact same thing with newspaper. In fact, it's faster because the pieces are bigger, so you won't need as many little pieces. And then the next demo will be on rolling out your clay at home and putting it over the top of this armature. Okay, so I kind of like that. Okay, so again, we've got the nose, we've got the lips, we've got where it indents where the eyes are, and that gives us something kind of nice to put our clay on. It's not pretty, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be pretty because we're gonna make whatever we're putting on top of this look good, okay? All right, thank you so much. You guys have an absolutely wonderful day. And remember, there are no mistakes, just happy little accidents. Have a great day, guys.